Hey guys, back right here with Attack on Productions. We got Aaron here from our championship. He came in second place with I think Surge Piccolo.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, this was really fun because he was the only person who beat me today, which cost me top 4. But all right, take it away.
Sure. So Search Piccolo, if you don't know what he does, he's got a unique ability that no other leader has in the game. He can actually look at the top card of the deck and then draw it before the charge phase, which is really key because I'm playing a tricolor variant of this. So he basically draws 2 on the front, and then you can put a blue and a green underneath to awaken him. His awaken side is really what this entire deck is built around. This game is so much more leader centric now because of these surge abilities, and so he has 2. Mainly the one you use all the time is you pitch a card from underneath of him to make your opponent warp 2 cards or discard 2 cards from hand. I did have a game against U11 at in the last round where I actually had to use the ramp to pull a card over so that I had 2 open for hidden potential, and it actually won me the game. So he's just a really good utility leader, just a really good leader in general. A lot of good abilities you can kind of play around. So that's the leader. We'll start off with just some of the basic stuff. So I do run 4 beans. I expected this event to be super aggro heavy, a lot of Gohan and a lot of Boo. I figured that we would see. We didn't see as much as I thought, but they are in here regardless. So 4 beans doesn't really need any other explanation. 4-dimension magic is pretty key for this deck because energy is hard to come by, especially when you're playing a lot of these cards. So this is Cell's Earth Destroying Kamehameha. This card is really good. Just making it to where you pick a card out of your opponent's hand and discarding it. It doesn't seem like a lot up front, but man, you do this 2 times in a turn, and then with the super combo that does basically the same thing. It becomes a lot. So this card's really good. Plus 15k is really good too for going for game. Pretty good. 3 hidden potentials. I think this is the most overpowered counterplay in the game right now, just because of everything that it gets rid of and everything that it stops, and it untaps an energy. So it only costs 1. So I think it's really good. I don't really see any reason to not play at least 3 of these. You could even make an argument for 4. So that's a lot of the reason why this deck does really well is because of this card. I ran 2 Shocking Death Balls. I took the sacrifices out of the deck because I was running sacrifice because I really wanted to be able to pop 2-drop Boos, and I really wanted to be able, if I played against turn 2 Han, I really wanted to be able to get rid of the Pans or the Android 17s if they hard cast those, and this is a good way to do that. So it's still good. I think 2 of it was fine. And then a card that I didn't think was going to be as good, but came in clutch several times. So this card almost won me the game against Jake. You'll see when they upload the video, I was able to pop a Black Smoke with it, which was awesome. But this is mainly in here for Invoker Vegeta. That is the main reason that I run it. It also gets rid of some big boss monsters if you're able to survive through the turn. And this deck is extremely defensive. This is basically just a charge pass deck until the end, until you can win the game. And this card's really good. It also makes him drop a card, which is kind of continues to go along with the theme of the deck. Just a very good card. All of these 3-drop activate mains are really good, and this one is no different. Something that I've been kind of kicking myself for putting in here, I would cut these. I put 2 Nimbus in because of the Boo chain. If we had time to play best of 3, I would have sideboarded this, and I actually think that if I didn't have these in the deck, I could have probably beaten Jake because I had both of these in my hand at the end of the game and they were basically dead. This it's good. I just think it's sideboard if at best because of the fact that it eats up a slot, and it's still a good card. It's just maybe not main deckable anymore. Frost Deadly Poison. This basically won me the game against Bancroft. He played a 6-drop Invoker Goku, and I Deadly Poisoned it. And then I played it a couple of times actually in this tournament, and it came up clutch in all of the games that I played it. It's really good. You only run 1 because the deck draws 1,000 cards. You could make an argument for cutting one of the Nimbus to run this at 2 just because it's so good. So that's a lot of that's a lot of extra cards because this deck is a stall deck. So that's all the extra cards. So we'll go to the battle cards next. I ran 3 of the pick 1 crit cards. I ran the 2 yellows because my ratios were a little bit off. I had a little bit too much green, and I really wanted to be able to have the yellow. If I needed to charge it, it sucks having to charge it because of the Cells Earth Kamehameha, which came up in Bancroft's game. If you have yellow charge, you can't activate the drop a card, but it's really key for another battle card in here. So that's why I do it. Plus, I only want to crit life if I can. I don't want to do damage otherwise. I run 4 of the check lands. You need to see it because it's really, really good. He's shaking his head again. It's a check land, and it will always be a check land. So really good, just because this deck is so energy efficient, and you have to have this. Super combos. I ran 3 of the 18, and I ran 4 of the Zamasu. So the Zamasu is basically just in here for Gohan, for turn 2 Han. Being able to tap the leader down after they swing with it, and then if they swing with something else is really, really good. Also, it's a yellow card that's free for arrival. So if I am able to combo with these 2 or this and any other of my other green cards, then it can turn on the Broly that you'll see here in just a second. I ran 2 Champas. This card is still really, really good. I think it will always be really good. So it's really good for shutting stuff down. 2 of the Ape. I didn't activate it as much as I thought I would. Just having it is fine. I think the biggest thing with this deck is the fact that it's yellow is a bigger deal than the Ape. But it's really not as important as a lot of people make it out to be. I don't think it's worth $80. I think it's $80 rare. I don't think it's worth $80. 2 Vegeta the Cruels.
Man, that's weird. My phone just died.
So Vegeta the Cruel pops a guy when it comes in, which is really good. This deck really has to have some spot removal because if the board gets too wide, it's a problem. So I run 2 of him, and then I run 2 of the Draft Box Goku because it's another negate. I can bounce back the Vegeta the Cruel if I need to with him. But the main reason why I run those 2 is for the main reason you play this deck is because of Gogeta 7. It's absurd how good it is with this deck. You play, with leader, you warp 2 from their hand, or you play Gogeta 7, warp 2 from their hand, and then you use a super combo, and they have no cards, and so there's nothing you can do. Like it's almost undefeatable, which is really good. 2 of the 17s. I'm gonna cut this. It never came up. I might run it to at a 1 of. I guess for the mirror, but it's really good if you can play it. It just never came up. The Broly's is still a really good card. I found myself not playing it as much and just holding on to it. With this deck, you don't want to attack their life without being able to do crit or without being able to make them discard cards. This is just really to keep the Raiders Warcry in check, to keep anything big like the Black Smoke Dragon in check, anything like that. He's good for. It's why he's a 3 of, but he's still really good. He is mainly green and yellow energy these days. One of the Android 21s. This actually won me 2 of my 3 games today in our 4 rounds. This card is really good. If it's in your energy, you can pay 4 to play it, pop an energy, and then just deal a damage to him. So you just have to get him to 1 life, which is really kind of cheating because you're turning off a mechanic of the game. So if you can do 7 damage, you win the game. And then the secret rare. So this I didn't get a chance to play it at all today, but this is where you would hope 6 of that damage would come from. So you would do 6 damage, you would pass with a bunch of negates in hand, and then you would hopefully be able to finish him off with this. But the deck performed really well today. The only things that I would change, like I said, were the Nimbus. I'd take them out and I'd sideboard them, and then the 2 Apes, honestly. You can find 4 cards that work better than those. But yeah, Tricolor Piccolo is really good. So if you guys have any suggestions or anything I may have missed, please shout it out because I'm looking to improve this one. I'm probably going to take something like this to Richmond when we all go to Richmond in a couple months. So let me know if there's anything that you would do.
Yep. And yeah, like I said, Aaron came second. Great deck. But yeah, like you said, put in the comments anything you guys would like to see. Maybe try this or try that, or anything you guys want to see us build. I'll do crazy stuff. That's why I built Piccolo back in the day. I know I'm repping that deck a lot, but I absolutely loved it for some reason. But like always, subscribe, and since I don't know where he's at, fluff out.